Oh my goodness, ladies, I have to come here and be real with you. At the moment of me filming this, I had just gotten up. I do my YouTube planning from bed when I first get up in the morning as I'm reading. And this particular morning, I was at the section of Jennifer L. Scott's book, At Home with Madame Chic, I believe it's called, where she's talking about exercise and how it's important for us to exercise. And I wasn't going to include this in the series at all because I felt, well, really, exercise, yes, it is chic to work out, but I don't really feel like I get that much of a workout when I am cleaning around the house. And so that brings me to this moment. I just got up, I was about to get into the shower and get ready for the day, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna quickly do this dish now and not leave it there. I'm holding myself accountable. And then I was like, oh, well, before I get in the shower, I may as well start cleaning up everything else. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get on top of the cupboards and start cleaning this all down before I get in the shower because it's so filthy, and why get myself ready for the day to then get myself dirty for the day? And then it dawned on me. I was starting to work up a sweat. Not really, but I was cleaning on top of the cupboards and my arm is starting to get sore. And I was like, how did I just, not even 20 minutes ago when I was reading this book, how did I just devalue what she was saying in the book on how cleaning around the house does get you moving and does give you a little bit of a workout? And then I decided I had to come here and talk to you about it. I'm on a journey just as you probably are if you're watching this video, and that's why I'm loving sharing these moments with you all, is that I'm not an expert, but as I learn these tiny little habits and I come and I share them with you, and in an honest way, I think that we can all see that it's these little decisions in the day-to-day that get us to the person that we want to be, the goal that we want to achieve, etc. And so I had to come here, I had to be honest with you, and I'm about to go shower and get ready. And then I didn't even plan this. I mentioned this in another video in the series, but I didn't think to do this right now, but I didn't even plan this. I'm gonna go behind the store and go get ready and put on my apron. Why buy it if you're not going to use it? So in Jennifer's book, she also talks about having nice lingerie. I'm not there yet, and it's so cold at the time of me filming this, but no, it's a work in progress. Let me go get ready, I'll come back, and we'll go clean the kitchen and get a little bit of a workout. All right, ladies, that is a little bit better, isn't it? I have this makeup look over on my other YouTube channel where I talk mainly about fashion and beauty and kind of leveling up. And I don't think I did a YouTube video for my autumn 10 item wardrobe, but this was something that was in an outfit that was in my autumn 10 item wardrobe. I did make an Instagram guide about it if you wanted to head over there. You're hearing the washer going, that has been put on, but what I'm tackling today is, I hated all of the clutter that we had on top of these cabinets, but obviously, well, in a UK home, there typically isn't as much storage space, so I want to get some wicker baskets to put up there, and then maybe that's where we can store some items. But the thing is, with storing items up there, it gets so oily up there, so it's something that needs to be cleaned regularly, which is something that I haven't done. And my husband definitely hasn't done it, so it is absolutely filthy up there. So as I'm about to purchase some wicker baskets to go up there, I'm like, let me clean this. Let's get into a regular routine of cleaning it. And then I also moved all of the appliances that we had up there into our spare room. Now this spare room is the last room that we have to renovate. It's embarrassing to show you it, but I'm gonna show you it because if you've been following along on this series, you would have heard me talk about or refer to the book where Jennifer is saying if you've fallen out of love with your home, it's not always that you need to go buy a new house or move to a new rental property. Sometimes you just need to make do with what you have. And so Even though this room needs to be finished and there's quirks about this house that perhaps weren't to my liking or even to Paul's liking, there's things that we can do to make it more our home and love it and enjoy it essentially. So I'm going to be cleaning out some of the items that are in this room, even though it's a disaster, and even though we might not be getting it plastered and the floors in for a few months yet, I figured let's start tackling these things and give the appliances an actual home. Okay, as you can see here, everything gets thrown into this room. We dry clothes in this room. There are boxes to be brought over to friends in this room. But today I thought I would just clear out some of the bedding that we aren't using, because we have a bookshelf in there, an old bookshelf that I could be using as storage, that is just housing, the bookshelf is just housing linens that we don't use. They don't fit, they literally do not fit the mattresses that we have, so why are we holding on to them? So I think that's all I can do in here today, but there's a lot to do. Okay, there's me done with the kitchen. As you can see, it was quite dirty. I think the thing is, I'm the primary cleaner in the house, but, and the laundry's done now too. But the thing is that because I know what I'm like if something is new and it is something that I really want to take care of, then I will put in that time and that effort to make sure it is looking good all the time. But when I moved in here, and Paul moved in here, there was a lot of things that he was doing to rush and complete the house in order for my arrival from Canada. And since then, there's a few areas that aren't completed, and I'll show you them in a second. Now, the next thing that I realized was kind of dictating my lack of motivation to clean in here is some of these appliances are so old. Paul bought this house about 2 years before I moved over here, and in the UK, houses don't necessarily come with their appliances when you buy them. I was used to houses in Canada where you buy the house and the appliance comes with it. So some of these items like the stove and the fridge were hand-me-downs from some of Paul's family members. So as much as we are so grateful to have them, they're old, they're looking kind of crappy, and you kind of think like, oh, what does it matter to keep them clean? Or what does it matter to, make sure that you've got all the little grub off of it because it's old and dingy anyways? But actually, now kind of spiffing everything up, it looks a million times better. But let me show you some of these items that are unfinished, and I'll tell you what I've got planned for them. So can you see this item right here? Let me zoom in on it. So I don't know if they ran out of paint or what, but even up top here in the windowsill, there's bits of paint that is missing. I would love to color this kitchen. I believe it's Faro and Ball Parma Blue, and it's just a really nice muted blue color. So I'm hoping at some point in this year I will be able to just give this kitchen a little refresh with paint. Keep it blue, but freshen it up and definitely paint that patch there. Now you can see down that hallway there, we don't have any flooring in yet, but hopefully it will come later on this year. At the time of me filming this, we are just about to go for an IVF consultation. So if you know anything about IVF, you know it's a little bit expensive, and with that, the flooring may have to wait just a tiny bit longer. But what I wanted to show you is all the trim around here. Can you see how there's literally bits of plaster here? It's just all yellow, and then the blue has come over onto the trim. Well, I hope to be coloring that white, or painting that white, sorry, in this year for sure. We might not get the floors, but I definitely will be able to pick up a couple cans of paint, IVF or not. Now let's talk about the fridge for a second. It is so small. I didn't know until I moved here that there's such things as an American fridge and just a fridge over here. So with that, this fridge I believe was Paul's sister before. It is quite small and it's quite dingy. And if you can see down here, it's missing the front of the tray in the freezer. And then in the fridge, this has fallen down and broken. And it's just, the shelf breaks and just kind of wobbles. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with when it comes to the fridge. Again, hopefully it's something that we can take care of later this year, but we're gonna figure out the IVF situation first. Last but not least, let's talk about this stove. It's missing 3 of the buttons. When we turn on this little one, it trips the power in the house. What else? Now the range just turns on when it feels like. So Paul's parents recently mentioned to him that they would get us a new stove. We haven't really asked or followed up on it, but hopefully that is something that we can get sorted out this year, whether they choose to bless us with that or we put some money aside for it, because having a stove that turns on randomly and you put a cloth on top of it sometimes is not the safest of situations. Now last but not least, before I go start to tackle that room, I wanted to show you the brilliance of an apron, because did you see that product I was squirting on top of the cupboards there? It had bleach in it, but because the grease from cooking has risen, just the normal soap wasn't cutting through the grease and the dust up there. So I had to use a cleaner, and I totally got bleach on the apron, which you may or may not be able to see. But if I wasn't wearing an apron, that would have gone on my clothing. And so if you were the type of person that has made it to the end of this video, and you are the type of person that you kind of see people on Instagram and you think they're being a bit extra with their apron, or if I'm being completely honest, even though I identify as a homemaker, some of the people that I observe that call themselves that, I feel like they are very much Little House on the Prairie without being judgmental. It's just sometimes I don't see myself like that. But I think when you can look at the task of homemaking and really implement it in your life without any preconceived notions, you can see things like an apron. It doesn't mean that you are trying to fit in a cottagecore wet dream or a Little House on the Prairie, but there's actually some functionality to it. So with that, I've got a dead arm from all of that cleaning, so I did get a bit of a workout today with cleaning around the house, but thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna start tackling this room over here, and maybe I'll show you what that looks like in another video in weeks, months to come. But thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.